What are Indigenous rights and why are they important? Imagine living in a place where your ancestors have been for hundreds of years, but your voice isn't heard in decisions about your land or culture. That's why understanding Indigenous rights matters. Indigenous rights are the freedoms and protections that belong to the original inhabitants of a region. These rights help Indigenous peoples keep their cultural traditions, manage their lands, and take part in political and economic life. Liberal ideas focus on fairness, justice, and freedom for everyone. Indigenous rights fit into this because they protect minority groups from being ignored or pushed aside. These rights are special because they recognize that Indigenous peoples have unique histories, languages, and ways of life that deserve respect. For example, they often include the right to govern themselves, control their ancestral lands, and preserve their cultural heritage. In many democracies, Indigenous rights are seen as group rights, meaning they are about protecting entire communities, not just individuals. This can include the right to set up their own governments, manage natural resources, and participate in national decision-making processes. These rights are important because they help fix past wrongs, like land dispossession and cultural suppression, and create a fairer society. Implementing Indigenous rights can involve returning land, recognizing Indigenous governance structures, and involving Indigenous leaders in politics. The United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples provides a global framework for this. It emphasizes that Indigenous peoples should have a say in laws and policies affecting them, and that they have the right to self-determination. Sometimes, recognizing Indigenous sovereignty can seem to challenge the authority of the state. Some argue that if Indigenous groups have rights that are not granted by the government, it could create conflicts. But balancing these rights with the principles of liberal democracy is essential. It means respecting Indigenous communities while maintaining the unity and sovereignty of the nation. In the end, protecting Indigenous rights is about making sure everyone is treated fairly and equally. It helps include Indigenous peoples in the political process and ensures their voices are heard. When democracies respect these rights, they become more just and truly representative of all their citizens.